Thank you so much for staying with us, and sorry for that technical hitch. Moving on, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has flagged off 62 trucks, each carrying at least 100 bags of NPK subsidized fertilizer. This is the second consignment of the 88,000 metric tons of NPK fertilizer destined to smallholder tea farmers across the country. Speaking during the takeoff at Syokimau, Nairobi Freight Terminus, Gachagua assured tea farmers that the government will aggressively pursue markets for their produce as well as help boost productivity. Gachagua at the same time called on the Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, to increase its productivity of orthodox tea for the benefit of the farmers, as orthodox tea has better earnings.
Pleasure to preside over the flagging of ceremony of the second consignment of fertilizer to the smallholder tea grower this year under the Kenya Kwanza government fertilizer subsidy program as promised by His Excellency President William Ruto. The flagging of this second consignment of fertilizer to tea growers across the nation will ease the burden of farmers in a great way. The 3.7 billion Kenya shillings subsidy for the fertilizer announced by President Ruto saw the cost of 50 kg bag drop from 6,500 to 3,500 for our farmers. This is a promise we made and we have kept. As the Kenya Kwanza government, we remain committed to the agricultural reforms for increased productivity of all the sectors. President William Ruto and I and our team believe the only way to sort out the economy of this country and turn it around is through increased productivity in agriculture. And the only way to improve the quality of lives for the people of Kenya is to make sure that our farmers get value for money. And the farmers who toil every day get adequately compensated for their sweat. Our government is so keen on agriculture that in every discussion that we have with the president, 25% of our time on any discussion is about matters agriculture and enhanced productivity. I come from a tea growing area, and those who followed our campaign with the president, we gave a commitment to tea farmers in Kenya that if William Ruto is elected as president and I as his deputy, within 1 year, farmers will have increased earnings. That is a promise we intend to keep. I want to assure KTDA that you are very serious partners.
Let's now move to Nyandara County, where the government has promised to start a school feeding program in some parts of Ndaragwa constituency in a bid to retain more students in schools. Speaking at Njoro Primary School in Ndaragwa during the Mashujaa Day celebrations, Nyandarua North Deputy County Commissioner Walter Ngaira has said that the national government is partnering with the county government to ensure that school feeding program is implemented. Residents of Ndaragwa constituency had appealed to the government to introduce a school feeding program to ensure 100% class attendance.
Then imagine kama hatukekuwa tumeshimba. It will be wonderful. So next time we shall be able to arrange other things, not when tu ameleta, when tu amepresent, hata wazazi wamekaa chini wake present vizuri sana. Lakini mtu akikukuka nyumbani, tunaona sasa shida imeingia. So next time, this time that we are having this farming, please, ukienda huko kwa serikali, niweje utawafikia, waambie kuna watu wako na shida hapa.
Narok leaders have condemned alleged massive corruption during the recruitment of armed forces in the county that has left many youths from poor backgrounds jobless. Governor Patrick Ntutu said the trend has made many families sell their land and livestock so that their children can earn favors from the recruiting officers, despite the recruitment exercise being totally free. The governor promised to move across the country during the recruitment exercises to ensure that, as it is ongoing, to monitor the programs and ensure that those recruited are well deserving of the positions and that they have paid no shilling.
Mambo ya corruption during recruitment kwamba sheria inasema lazima ununue kazi. Sometimes hao watu vile wana exchange unakuja kujua baada wakati mtu ametoa pesa na hajapata job ndio unajua kwamba kulikuwa na mambo ya corruption. Nataka niambie wananchi tutakuwa tuna monitor very closely kupitia kwa county security team na viongozi. Kama kuna ile recruitment hapa tutakuwa tunakuja hapa tuhakikishe kwamba wananchi wasiitishwe hongo ndio waweze kuajiriwa kazi.
Next recruitment, hebu tuangalie watu wasiuswe tena ng'ombe ama shamba kwa sababu ya kuandikwa. Na Bwana Sunguli, mimi niko na wewe na Mheshimiwa Joana Ngeno na Kitilai na wale wengine waheshimiwa ambao hawajakuja. This time around, wacha sisi tuhakikishe ya kwamba tunakuja kusimama hapa. Mimi ndaenda labda 3 ama 4. Nyinyi kwa sababu wewe ni mheshimiwa wa hapa, kuja simama hapa. Wacha hiyo watoto wakimbie, warudi waandikwe vile wanaandikwa, lakini tunaona parents wasilipe tena pesa ya kusema ati tunaonga ndio tuandikwe.
Tunataka vijana kama kazi ni 3 wapate, lakini wapate free of charge. Na hata tumeongea na mheshimiwa Tony Speaker na wengine hapo. Siku ya kuandika vijana tutawacha kazi yetu kule. Sisi wote wanasiasa tutakuwa hapo kuona vile mnafanya hiyo kazi.
Sisi tulikuwa tumekataa kuja wakati watoto wanaajiriwa kwa kiwanja. Kwa sababu we didn't want interference or to interfere na ile vitu yenye ilikuwa inafanyika hapo. Lakini saa hii tunaambiwa watu wameuza mashamba ndio waajiriwe kama polisi. Kazi yenye anafanya miaka kama 20 bila kurudisha hiyo pesa yenye alitumia kununua hiyo kazi. That employment is free. Na county commissioner you are here na uko na sisi. Hatutaki hiyo maneno tena. Kabisa ujue kuna.
Moving on, Manyata Member of Parliament MP Gitonga Mukunji has warned non-banking financial institutions that sell motorcycles to border operators in hire purchase agreement against defrauding border operators in Embu County. According to the lawmaker, the non-banking financial institutions have been defrauding border operators by imposing exaggerated prices, and they end up confiscating the motorcycles once the border operators fail to make the agreed daily remittances.
Ukichukua hata nduthi na loan, na nataka kuonya hao watu wanapeana loans za nduthi za pikipiki. Uwezi kuwa kijana amejaribu, amelipa loan yake, amebakisha 20,000, alafu hiyo nduthi yako unakuja unachukua unapeleka kwako. Lazima tuangalie hiyo maneno ya hire purchase, na mimi nikienda bunge nitaenda kusema hiyo maneno. Nimepatana na vijana wengi sana wananiambia, Mkonji, sijalipa 500 ya hii wiki, pikipiki yangu imechukuliwa. Hata kama unafanya biashara, uwezi angalia vile watu wanaweza kuwa wanakufa njaa na ile wakati wewe unatengeneza pesa. Pikipiki moja ni 1,100, lakini ukimaliza kulipa kama kijana ni 1,300. Hiyo maneno lazima ikuame.
At least 100 young women have acquired plumbing, electrical and painting skills through the Family Group Foundation and the USAID Tumikia Mtoto project implemented by World Vision Kenya. The 100 women bring to 300 women who have been trained, certified and graduated under the project. Speaking during the graduation of the 100 women from Cohort 3, Family Bank CEO Rebecca Mbithi highlighted the need for finding institutional solutions to bridge the gender gap. The 30 million shilling Shillings partnership is aimed at enhancing the employability, income and livelihoods of vulnerable young women within the program aged between 18 and 24 years from Nairobi and Kiambu counties while boosting their technical skill sets.
Through this USAID to Me Come Toto program, a partnership with World Vision USAID and Family Group Foundation, as you have heard, we have trained nearly 400 girls through a Kenya shillings 30 million investment in technical skills such as construction, plumbing, and painting. Our chief guest, I'm delighted to note that 80% of these young women and girls have transitioned into internships and decent work in a sector that was previously male-dominated.
The point is, have a positive attitude about these things. Positive attitude. You know, don't look at it as the end of the world because something bad has happened to you. All of you, of course, know this. All of us have our own difficulties that we had to overcome. And here you are. The program directors, when they were explaining to me, they told me that most of you are sort of in a vulnerable group or you came from a vulnerable background. That is okay. It doesn't characterize you. You're not going to be like that all your life. You overcome it. We all had our difficulties. You got yours, I got mine, and we have to face it. So don't let difficulties define you.
Young girls and women in Kenya hold unlimited potential. They constitute more than half of the population, of the productive population, and can make major contributions towards Kenya's development. This skills training program is an excellent example of one of those economic power empowerment initiatives under Dreams that aims at providing critical financial income to young women. Such programs as these not only build foundational skills, but also transferable skills such as self-confidence, communication, and decision-making. These skills are critical for young women to find work, become entrepreneurs, and access further training and learning. A recent World Bank study found that vocational training for vulnerable youth in Kenya improved young women's incomes by 132%. And I was inspired to learn that over half of the graduates of the previous cohorts are now earning a daily income between 800 shillings and 1,500 shillings. And while that's great to hear, I think collectively between the US government, the Kenyan government, the private sector, and our NGO partners, there's more that we can do.
I swear, I also use that camera. So let me have all the other directors join us. Declare you a graduate!
Transport has been paralyzed in Mbeere North after a bridge that connects Momenji and Ishiara collapsed last night after a lorry ferrying sand from parts of Kiari to Ishiara was crossing. The locals are calling on the government to repair the road, which is said to serve at least 5,000 people in the area. One of the residents, a farmer Peter Ireri, says he wasn't able to take his produce to the market due to transport challenges, saying no vehicle can pass through the bridge.
Through this USAID.
Jana usiku lori iliweza kuingia na kwa bahati mbaya ikasama pamoja na ile daraja, na ilikuwa ni mkasa kubwa, manake hii daraja imetusaidia sana na ndio imekuwa tegemeo la wananchi katika hali ya usafiri. Ungeuliza serikali waweze sasa kutushughulikia haraka, waweze emergency fund, manake mvua iko karibu, hata hatunjui tusafiri itakuwa namna gani.
Hii daraja haikuwa imeshika sana kwa sababu kuna manati ilikuwa imelegea, na sasa kulikuwa na hiyo kulegea, na kwa hivyo lori ilikuwa na mchanga na ilikuwa imepepa sana kwa sababu hii daraja haikuwa imeshika sana hiyo manati. Sasa kuko na problem kubwa sana ya watu wa kutoka Kavovua kuelekea Ishiara na Ishiara kuelekea Kavovua, na sasa tunaomba serikali kuu na ya county ikunje ndio isave hiyo problem.
Tunaomba serikali itusaidie, sababu hii darasa ilijengwa wakati wa MB yule alikuwa anaitwa Mate Vandiri, na sasa tumetaka kuomba serikali itusaidie. Watoto yetu yanachoma ng'ambo hii na mametoka ng'ambo hii. Kwa hivyo serikali kujeni hata walimu wapuki pande hii.
Mimi ni mkulima, nalimanga nyanya, melon, na tuko na shinda sana kuanzia jana usiku. Juwezi usa. Katika Mbeere North hakuna ile parapara inatumika sana kuliko hii parapara ya Karerema, hii bridge ya Karerema.
Let's now move to Nyandarua, where the Nyandarua Governor, Dr. Moses Kiari Badilisha, has expressed his administration's commitment towards desettling of colonial dams, drilling of boreholes in areas hit by the drought, in a move aimed at maximizing irrigation farming. Speaking while inspecting the construction of ex-Jacobs Dam, the governor said it was time residents stopped focusing on rain-fed agriculture, adding that the only way to address food security in the county is through sustainable water solutions and increasing acreage under irrigation. Governor Badilisha expressed his satisfaction with the progress of the project, which seeks to irrigate an average of 166 hectares of land within Nyandarua County.
Sisi tunasema kama county tutaingilia hapa tuone kama tunaweza jengea hawa mahali ngombe zinaweza kunywa maji, na pia tuwatafutie sora ili maji haya yanaweza kupigwa ziwekwe kwa tanki kule juu, ili sehemu zile ambao hawezi kutumia maji kupitia gravity nao waweze kupata maji. Na tunauliza serikali kuu pia iweze kuingilia kati ili tuone vile tunaweza fungua mashamba haya na wananchi hao waweze kuanza kukuza mimea ambayo wanaweza kujisaidia biashara yao, na hata pia tunaweza kusaidia sehemu zingine za Nyandarua ambao kuna ukame haswa kwa wakati huu. Kwa hivyo tunaamini ya kwamba mradi huu utakuwa ni wa manufaa sana kwa sio area hii pekee, mbali na Nyandarua na hata nchi nzima kwa jumla.
He has promised to introduce soras to feed them that are not benefiting with water which is directly coming from the gravity as it was the earlier plan. On top of the same, he has touched on desilting the old dams like the one that is behind us because it was totally dilapidated. So ours as an assembly, what we are going to do is that we are going to make sure that we registrate the way it should be. We are going to give budgetary allocation so that he can achieve his dream of turning agriculture in Nyandarua not to directly rely on rainfall, it can rely on irrigation.
Elsewhere in Uasin Gishu County, the Governor Jonathan B. and County Commissioner Dr. Edison Nyale have announced the launch of a massive operation against individuals involved in the manufacture and distribution of illegal alcohol. The Governor says his administration is ready to support those involved in the manufacture of the illicit brew so that they can venture into legitimate businesses.
Sitakubali unywaji ya pombe haramu kwa hii kaunti, na tumeongea na county commissioner na security team, tumekuwa na mikutano na tulikuwa leo asubuhi kwa ofisi yake. Tumesema ni saa ya kufamia wale watu ambao shetani anataka kuwatumia kuharibu kaunti yetu, na tunafamia pombe, especially pombe haramu, ile pombe ambayo inakuja kutokea sijui Uganda ama ifanya nini ya kuharibu watu wetu. Sisi tunaweza kuhakikisha kwamba yule mama mwenye anatengeneza pombe kwa kutafuta ajira, tuko na uwezo ya kupatia pesa ya inua biashara afanye biashara nyingine. Tutafutia njia nyingine, njia mbadala ya kuwasaidia wajimudu kwa maisha haya. Hatutakubali wale watu wanaendesha biashara ya pombe kwa estates ambao watu wanaishi.
Wale wote ambao wanatengeneza pombe haramu, geuza biashara. Geuza biashara. Kwa sababu serikali yetu imetenga pesa ambazo wewe ukiwa na biashara na nia nzuri utafaidika na utaboresha maisha yako.
Now, at least 50 secondary school students from Amani Club are expected to represent the country in a Pan-Africa Debate Championship in South Africa on December 14th to, 12th to 18th this year. This follows after the students emerged victorious in an East African debate competition that happened in neighboring country Tanzania, where 10 selected schools participated. Speaking after returning to the country, the National Organizing Secretary, Amani Clubs Kenya, Kennedy Kunani, said the club selected the representative students and teams from the lot that emerged top in the national debating championships that the club organizes countrywide.
Amani clubs are clubs that were formed by the National Cohesion and Integration Commission in partnership with the Ministry of Education to promote peaceful coexistence in our learning institutions. And through an invitation of Tanzania, the students from various schools in the country have been out there to debate with other students in East Africa. Actually, with the Amani Club, we normally have a debating championship across the country. And it is through that debating championship where we select students and teams that represent the country for regional competitions. Like this time we had a competition in Kakamega, we had a competition in Coast, and then we also had some competition in Busia County. And so the schools that performed very well are the ones that we managed to select to represent the country at the East African Championship in Dar es Salaam.
It has really given us the urge of becoming leaders, because most of the motions that were we were competing, they were conducting, like they were talking about the future of us. They were talking about the reality of today. So it has given us the ability to know, like for example, the first motion that talks about the legacy of Mwalimu Nyerere and Nelson Mandela. It has enabled us to know the characters of our leaders who took part in the previous life. It has enabled us to understand that even us, we can be leaders who can achieve many things, because we realized Tanzania people, they really appreciate Nyerere. Even though he's not here until today, they really appreciate him until today. So it has taught us as Kenyans, even as we grow up to be good leaders, we have to create a legacy for people to remember.
Thousands of people throng cities every single day looking for opportunities to make their lives better. They are employees, business owners, or just opportunity seekers desiring to have a breakthrough in their lives. Join me, DM Tanki, as we take this journey from the perspective of different successful entrepreneurs and corporate employees on Occupy Today, every Sunday from 8 p.m. exclusively on Hope TV. Look and live.
Ensuring good health and promoting well-being of all people is important in building a prosperous society. On Health Check, you get informed and empowered on various medical conditions, their treatment and preventive measures.
When you ignore gum disease, then the same tooth will start to appear slightly longer.
You also get your health question answered live by our doctors in studio.
The medication she's receiving is for the nostrils.
This child should be feeding enough to gain weight.
And you do a little bit of exercise. It even helps with the breast milk.
If you feel like you have an instinct that things aren't quite where they should be for your child, the onus is on you to seek an evaluation.
This is to help you make best choices about your health and your well-being. Stay tuned for brand new episodes of Health Check with me, Grace Mutiso, every Tuesday on Hope TV. Look and live.
Thank you for staying with us now for the business news. Today marked day 2 of the CITAM Business Forum CBF Conference of 2022. Delegates at the CITAM current venue of the event attested that they were able to connect with fellow businessmen and women and gained insights on best practice. Faith Imanimugo compiled the following report that was voiced by Melissa Odor.
This is our first time attending CBF. And we're delighted to be here. We've had quite a number of clients pass by, referrals, and we've also made some sales. And it's amazing because it felt a bit scary yesterday when there wasn't a lot of traffic.
One thing I've really learned from this conference is that I am not alone. We are not alone. There are other business persons and communities of businesses that are coming together to do great things. And CITAM is one of them. And I'm grateful to know that now I have a community and a society that I can plug and connect myself with to continue doing business and radiating God's glory in my business.
CITAM presiding Bishop Callisto Odede has congratulated those who organized the CBF 2022 conference and urged businessmen to continue doing business to please God.
We have about 300 exhibitors, people who have come with different gifts, different abilities, just to showcase what they are actually doing. This is very, very, very encouraging for me because it shows that this is actually a need, not just within the church, but within the country, to give opportunities for people to network together and to interact together. And on top of the networking, the interaction, the exchange of ideas, purchase of goods, I think the other thing that has been an encouragement are the messages that we have been receiving here through the various speakers. People who are either coaches like Dr. Edmund Chan, who's been coaching leaders and business enterprise people, or individuals who are business oriented.
The head of CITAM CBF, David Tanki, in his remarks said they are happy with how the conference has shown that this country is growing in doing business.
We are basically encouraging businesses to do what needs to be done for the businesses to flourish. And it includes marketing, it includes networking. And as you can see, in 2022, we have more than 250 exhibitors. And here is the good news. One of them just sent me a message that they sold more than 15 handbags that they had carried and a number of, I think, bells or something. I can't remember the whole story. But it's a text which actually I have. And it is very inspiring for me to know that business is happening. The exhibitors are doing business and people are buying. And that is part of what we required in the 2022 business conference.
Businessmen also got to exhibit their entrepreneurial skills and exuded confidence in the business they were able to do during the conference.
It's our second day. It's very helpful and to get some other connections also from different business providers and business service providers. Yeah. So as a CITAM member, also we value and appreciate a business in a godly way.
For me, I'm very delighted to have attended the CITAM Business Forum, and I've gotten key insights, and especially just to highlight my key insight for today from Dr. Esther Mushemi, where she was able to highlight that focus on the agenda and not the gender.
On the other hand, the business leader at Kingdom Bank, which is the main sponsor of the event, Alex Kasiki, has exuded confidence in the growth and flourishing of businesses.
We feel so much proud when we see people coming to participate from all walks of life and running businesses. We have been having this partnership with CITAM now for 1 year. We have been able to sponsor some of their very many local assemblies where they launch their model for business people. And, they do it for a purpose. And that purpose we found, a unique way of us coming in so that we can build the kingdom.
The 3-day conference comes to an end tomorrow, with those who are unable to attend the last 2 days encouraged to come for the grand finale.
And now for some sports news. Bayern Munich winger Frank Ribery has announced his retirement from international football. The French star, who missed the World Cup due to injury, said he wanted to focus on his family and his club career. A World Cup runner-up with France in 2006, Ribery's greatest success came at Bayern Munich, where over 12 seasons he won 9 league titles and the 2013 Champions League. Former Mathare United FC skipper and KCB captain Eric Okech has expressed optimism in his charges to clinch the football trophy in this year's edition of the Interbank competitions currently ongoing in Nairobi. The team is sitting at the summit of its group with 12 points after winning 4 out of the 4 matches it has played so far. KCB will tomorrow face University of Nairobi football team in their final group stage match at the Absa Sports Grounds. UON are guests in the 36th edition of the Interbank competition organized by the Kenya Institute of Bankers.
We feel good because we prepared well for the tournament, though we have struggled a bit. But we thank God we've had 4 wins in a row, and we are very proud because so far we lead the group. In as much as we have a match tomorrow against the UON University of Nairobi boys, we believe that we're also going to play. We are preparing today for the match so that we can be able to win as well, so that we can have 100% group stage wins for this particular tournament. So the morale is very high in the camp. We have a good coach. And we have a lot of technical plans that we have, including formations that we're trying to put in today. We have seen the match between us and we saw the match between Kenya Bankers Sacco and University of Nairobi boys. And so far, we are just trying to find a tactical formation that will be able to assist us to counter them, so that we can be able to win tomorrow's match as well.
We've come to the end of this live broadcast. My name is Grace Ongoy, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Boniface Mureithi. Enjoy the rest of your programming. Bye-bye.